Всем привет! Всем привет! Сегодня у нас рестрим презентации Genshin 3.2. Главное сейчас не пропустить эту штуку, когда она запустится. Вот. Так, ну что, мы все запустились. Ой, я даже чатики не или открыла. Так, всем привет. Нет, мы где-то запустились. Окей, хорошо. Здесь, видимо, тоже на Ютубе. Сейчас проверим. Да, мы, по идее, запустились. Вот, я, кстати, удивлена, что, оказывается, презентация на Ютубе от японского Геншина тоже будет сейчас. Ну ладно, посмотрим. Мне только интересно, почему у меня все время не получается начать... Почему начало трансляции всегда пропускаю? Открыть в отдельном окне. То у меня и так вроде отдельное окно открыто. А может быть так попробовать сделать? Ну-ка. Так. Мне интересно, запустится он в таком случае? Вот я так сделала. Ой. Ну. Я знаю, что не в сети. Ты сам начнешь или нет? Как я пойму, что что-то началось? Ой, не ту нажала. Еще не началось. О, началось. Я опять пропускаю. Нет, еще не началось. Сейчас, подождите. А как я это сделала сейчас? Так. Вообще в эфире уже все написано, что. Вон. Ладно, допустим. Пусть будет так. В эфире же? И чё? Опять что-то не то? Блин. Может обновить тебя? Вот. Я опять все
So
пропустила.
this is how it feels to walk out of that cage with my own body. Yeah! Hey! Make yourself at home! Yeah! But now doesn't seem to be the time to indulge in this feeling. Is it too late for an extension? Ha! Not now. Stars, shine for me.
Luckily, there is still some time left for me to take care of everything before I leave.
So, you think this is over?
Wait. No. I can't.
That's the secret hidden by Ermin's soul concerning the truth of this world.
The balladeer has already become a god?
No wonder your own people have abandoned you, God of Wisdom. At my command, you shall fall. My endless cycle begins.
Your ploy was to sacrifice the Traveler here, was it not?
Nilu, are you sure about this? You're taking such a great risk for them.
I must admit that I'm a little scared. But I'll try my best for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Hatham's plan is even more radical than I imagined.
Brothers, let's show them we Eremites are not to be messed with.
Quasar, you've betrayed all of Sumeru, betrayed its Archon.
Creating a god. We are using human wisdom to create a god.
Let us reenact the scene of the Archon War. Come and inaugurate my birth as a god.
Привет, Ру. Первый код. Все коды я потом чуть позже скину.
So, we've got a lot to unpack from that trailer.
Yeah. After experiencing the Sabzeruz Festival, Samsara, and surviving our journey through the desert, we'll finally get to the riveting end of the Sumeru Archon Quest in version 3.2. Picking up right where we left off, the Traveler is teaming up with some amazing characters to face the Academia and rescue Sumeru's Archon. But I'm sure the first thing everyone's wondering is how we're going to save the Dendro Archon.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Nahida's been locked up by the Doctor inside the Sanctuary of Surasthana. It's not like we can just go walking in there. And on top of that, we're dealing with two of the Fatui Harbingers now. We've got the Balladeer in his super powerful looking boss form, as well as the Doctor, who seems to be a real tricky one to predict. I'm not gonna lie, the Traveler really has his hands full with this one.
Yeah, definitely a tricky situation.
Totally. And besides these two Harbingers, we can be sure the Grand Sage will also be on his guard. But hey, with the help of two insiders like Sino and Alhaitham, we might just have a way into the Academia.
Well, as the General Mahamatra, Sino also has his own agenda. After being tracked and predicted by the Academia for all these years, this might just be his chance to settle the score.
And if we're hoping to truly save Sumeru, we'll definitely need the power of the Dendro Archon to help us.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how everyone's hard work and coordination plays out.
And I don't know about you guys, but besides saving Nahida, I'm also curious how we're going to save Ermin's soul. Plus, we still don't know the meaning behind the words that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata left us. World, forget me.
Well, travelers will be able to personally unravel the answers to all these questions in their own journeys through version 3.2.
You know, I'm actually kind of curious what the future for Sumeru will be once they get through all of this and, well, you know, what will happen to the crew we've been working with along the way?
Yeah, same. I just hope things will work out for everyone affected by Elazar, like Dunyarzad and Kale. Oh, And we can't forget the desert dwellers who have been mistreated all these years. There's a lot that needs to change for them, too.
Right. So be sure not to miss Chapter 5 of the Archon quest, Akasha Pulses, the Kulpa Flame Rises. It'll be quite the ride, and I hope everyone will enjoy it.
Yeah, and of course, the end of this quest won't be the end of everyone's journey in Sumeru. There are still many puzzles and mysteries waiting to be solved. Whether it's Lesser Lord Kusanali, the Doctor, or the Balladeer, I think there still might be lots of unexpected things waiting to be uncovered.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome!
Okay, so now that we've talked about some of the storyline, maybe we can talk about that massive mechanical-looking puppet we've seen? That's the god that the Academia has been creating.
That's right, and now that you mentioned it, let's talk about the Balladeer boss battle.
Whew, this boss looks tough. The Doctor must have put a lot of his energy into this.
Yeah, the Balladeer has lots of strong and awesome-looking abilities, so why don't we start by checking out some gameplay from the new boss battle?
Sounds good.
Woo!
Давайте посмотрим. Ну да, только после трансляции. Я не думаю, что она в этот раз будет больше часа идти, как в прошлый раз. Я надеюсь.
Wow, just look at the size of it. Pretty sure this boss is gonna
Привет,
push
Андрей.
travelers to the limit.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, that thing is huge! And come to think of it, this is like the third Fatui Harbinger boss battle we've had. They really keep stepping up the art and design every time. It's so awesome!
Yeah!
It's so cool.
This is an ultra-powerful puppet we're going up against here. So we're talking huge attacks and epic moves. Let's break it down a bit. In the first phase of the battle, the Balladeer will use his massive arms to attack everyone.
И,
The
кстати,
arms
несколько
are capable
элементов.
of utilizing different elemental powers,
Мгм.
and there are several types of abilities, including attacks that create fields of burning or freezing effects on the ground.
Oh, you know what? This fight kind of reminds me of when we fight Ruin Guards. I think we'll have to come up with a way to paralyze it.
Right! And you might have noticed there are some arcane formations on the ground, so activating those might trigger some interesting effects.
And I bet a lot of people are wondering what that thing is floating next to us. Not gonna lie, he's kind of cute. Oh, maybe it's a Paimon reskin.
Paimon
Sorry, but
reskin.
no. Not only is it super cute, but it's also super powerful. Travelers will need to charge energy for this little helper and use its special skill to counter the boss in battle.
A helper in a boss fight. Yeah, that's definitely not Paimon.
Once the Balladeer has transformed into this massive form, our usual attacks won't deal any tangible damage to him. So, the only thing capable of breaking through his defenses will be our little helper that we just mentioned. There will even be some moments in the fight where travelers will need to use an aiming mode to attack the boss's weak points.
Oh,
Прикольно.
I guess that little thing would be so important against a boss the size of the Balladeer.
I know, right? They also use some amazing special effects
Короче,
for
вот эта
all of the
маленькая
Balladeer's
пимпочка,
moves.
летающая с нами, будет
Speaking
помогать
of
нам
which, the cosmic
в босс-файте.
appearance, the
И это
spacey
не
special
Paimon.
effects of his skills really kind of remind me of the Raiden Shogun skills.
Ah, you're right. And seriously, I can't wait to check out this new boss fight. I'm so hyped.
Yeah.
So
Ну,
now
босс,
that we've
да,
covered the new
босс, они,
boss battle,
конечно,
I
это...
think it's time to introduce the first of our new playable characters coming in version 3.2. Let's welcome Lesser Lord Kusanali, aka Nahida.
Yay, finally!
After everything we've experienced in the story so far, I think Nahida's already like a good friend to us. It's seriously so crazy what we've been through.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear you say that, Zach. Okay, so throughout our journey, maybe everyone's already noticed some of the unique, yeah, let's call it that, unique metaphors that Nahida likes to use. And yeah, they can be pretty out there. Or sometimes she'll use really childlike language to describe some deep or profound idea. But the truth is, she has yet to set foot in the outside world since she was born. To her, all the knowledge that she has in her mind is like pieces of scenery that she's never seen with her own eyes.
Totally. It's really hard to imagine that the god of wisdom had been locked up for 500 years. Just makes me upset just thinking about
Почему
it.
дальше Лию не
But I'm sure
пойдешь?
everything will work out sooner or later.
If travelers would like to spend more time with Nahida, then be
А,
sure to check out Nahida's story quest,
Вот.
Sapientia or Mastes
будет
chapter.
ее
The
личный
quest will
квест.
be available upon completing the Sumeru Archon quest.
Ну,
So be sure
естественно.
to check out the quest to learn more.
It's nice that we'll get to
Обязательно.
spend more time with her. But I want to see Nahida in battle. What you got for us, Kimberly?
Oh, I've got lots to share. But before we get to that, let's have a quick peek at Nahida in action.
Да,
What they say
давайте
is
посмотрим
true.
ее.
You have to see the world for
Gameplay.
yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is.
Она на кнопочку нажимает.
Grow, grow, grow! The Temple of Wisdom!
Еще и на зуме не открыто, в разломе ни разу не заходил. А я вот не знаю, нужен ли разлом для Сумеру. Наверное, да, все-таки. По крайней мере, сюжетный
Aw,
квест.
little Nahida is so cute. I love how she hops around when she's fighting. Oh, and her swing too. So, what's that skill that looks like she's using a viewfinder or something? That seems pretty different.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with her viewfinder-ish kind of skill, which is actually her elemental skill. As a Catalyst user, Nahida's combat style is pretty unique. You may cast her elemental skill by tapping the skill button, or you may hold the button to enter an aiming mode. Opponents who are selected while aiming will be linked by Nahida's special mark. After you trigger elemental reactions on opponents who are linked, and when they take damage from Dendro cores, Nahida will unleash Tri-Karma Purification, dealing Dendro damage.
Whoa, this is so cool. Yeah, I love how it's like connecting the enemies together.
Outside of combat, Nahida can use her elemental skill and enter the aiming mode we just mentioned to interact with certain harvestable items, allowing her to collect items
Она
directly to the
может
inventory from a
элементальным
distance.
скиллом
Whoa, wait.
лут
Being
собирать.
able to harvest materials like that is gonna be so cool. That'll really save us some time.
Yeah, this skill may also have some additional uses, so travelers will have to give it a try themselves and see.
Ooh, okay.
Можно на
Nahida's
Ниписи
elemental
наводиться.
burst is where things
Интересно.
get really interesting. Upon unleashing her burst, Nahida manifests the Court of Dreams, expanding a special field.
That's pretty amazing. The effect really does look like some royal court or palace.
Yeah, different effects will be produced based on whether there are Pyro, Electro, and Hydro characters in the party. While Nahida is within the special field, a Pyro member in the party will increase the damage of Tri-Karma Purification. An Electro party member will decrease the intervals at which Tri-Karma Purification is triggered, and a Hydro party member will cause the duration of the field to be increased. If there are at least 2 party members of the elemental types I just mentioned, then the effects will be increased further.
Whoa, this is blowing my mind right now. We'll really have to focus on which effects we want to achieve and put some thought into our team's composition.
Right?
Ну,
A key thing to
ее
remember is that these effects can be
элементальный
triggered
взрыв
while Nahida
несколько
is not on the
напоминает
battlefield, as long
путешественника,
as
как
the
мне
active
кажется.
character remains in the special field radius.
Oh.
Nice. Also, in addition to Nahida, we have one other character joining us in version 3.2.
Нахида может стать
That's
мыслью
right.
NPC,
She is a
но
very
здесь они об этом не сказали.
peculiar
Здесь они
academia
просто
student.
сказали, есть
Her name
еще
is Layla.
кое-что, узнай
Most
сам.
days, she looks super tired and anxious, which seems to be a direct result of her relentless struggle with her studies.
Yeah, and not only is she frail and anxious looking, but she also studies astrology. So it's no wonder people around her might consider her a little strange and mysterious. And even
Layla,
though she's always
Layla.
groaning about her studies, most of Layla's research work is actually fine overall. It's just her lack of confidence that's really holding her back. And that's when her unusual ability comes into play.
And her ability is sleepwalking.
Ого.
While
Она
she is
лунатик.
sleeping, Layla unleashes her true self,
Ходит во сне,
allowing
точнее.
her to regain the confidence she needs and activate the talents and strengths she's had
Забавно.
all along. As soon as she starts sleepwalking, her unfinished papers no longer seem like the monumental tasks they were, and she
Но все равно
completes
для
them
меня
in
скип.
no time.
This is definitely something only Layla can do. Our viewers shouldn't try to do this with their own
Layla.
homework. But
Нас,
does
наверное,
Layla
Лайла
have
будет.
any idea what happens when she's sleepwalking?
Ее же
I
еще не
mean, does she
представляли.
know that she has this ability?
She seems to be aware of it. The papers are obviously full of her handwriting, after all. But there have been some weird instances.
Почему
For example, once
многострадальная?
during crunch time while researching, she sleepwalked and climbed the wall of Sawmill.
Я
and
просто
then
про нее
randomly
ничего не
bumped into
знаю.
Kate. Such weird occurrences have made her start to wonder what's really going on.
And aside from her sleepwalking, just like any other student, Layla has many typical things that she hopes to achieve, as well as some regrets.
Она,
She wants to be
кстати,
able to make
эльф.
friends and
У нее ушки
go out,
как
have
у
fun.
Кли.
But it seems like she'll never be able to do
По-моему.
any of that until she graduates.
Да ведь?
And actually, I'm guessing that she uses her sleepwalking abilities in combat too, right?
You bet. Let's have a look at Layla in combat.
Давайте посмотрим.
Even when we're not looking up at the stars, they're always there. Watching us.
Она, как и Нилу, одноручник.
Stars.
Ну, в смысле, до нас дрыхнет.
Stars, shine for me.
Так, и она Крио, получается, да? Или... Не, вроде Гидра. Ой, вроде Крио говорили.
It almost looks like
Да,
she's
да, да,
sleeping
Крия.
while being protected by the shield.
This shield not only protects Layla, but also creates night stars while it is active. When a character protected by the
А,
shield
у нас
uses an elemental skill,
слива.
more
То
night
каталиста,
stars will be
мечик, то
created.
копейщица.
Once
Ну,
four
вот
night
теперь
stars
видно,
have been
что она
accumulated, They will
мечница.
transform into homing shooting stars, dealing damage to any opponent's hit.
Щит. Причем она щит.
Night stars.
Прикольно.
I love how her skills have a starry theme. It ties into her studies.
Но
Yeah,
я, правда,
throughout the skill's
все равно ее
duration, Each
пропускаю.
time a night star is accumulated, the shield strength will increase. This effect can stack up to a
Кандаки
maximum
мне
of 4
хватило.
times.
Whoa.
Я
Layla's
ничему не
elemental
научилась
burst
после
unleashes a
Нингуан.
dream sphere that constantly fires starlight slugs at opponents within its AoE, while also generating night stars for Layla's shield. As a talented Ratawa student, Layla also comes in handy when crafting. When Layla crafts character talent materials, she has a set chance to receive double the product.
Ah, nice.
Sweet. Anyway, when can travelers expect to see these new characters available in-game?
Great question.
О,
That
первая
brings us
фаза
to our new
Нахида
event
и
wishes.
Йоэмия.
In the early part of version 3.2, Nahida and Yoimiya will be available. In the later part of the version, we'll be seeing rerun event wishes for Yaemiko and Tartaglia, and Layla will become available for the first time.
И
Also,
Лейла
a
будет во
new
второй
5-star
фазе,
weapon,
кстати.
1,000
Вместе с
floating dreams,
Мико
will be
и
appearing in the new weapon event
Чайлдом.
wish.
Oh, nice. By the way, I've heard that Layla's been getting ready recently to participate in Sumeru's Beast Tamer tournament. But before we
Нет, я
get
бы,
into
конечно,
that, I
хотела
think
нового
it's time for us to
персонажа
take another
Чайлда
break.
вытянуть, но
We'll be back with
скип-скип.
the latest info on events coming in the version update.
А Йоэмия у меня
I
есть?
know what you're thinking.
Да,
It's
Йоэмия у
time
меня
for
есть.
redemption code. You guys get it?
Boo.
Sai no.
Alright, that's enough.
Boo.
О. Жду не дождусь, когда мы отмутозим Скару. Ну, правда, скорее всего, сперва он меня будет мутозить. Но я надеюсь, что я его все-таки отмутозю. Но при этом сам Скара вроде тоже будет играбельный, но в следующем патче. Так что еще через не скоро. Ну как не скоро, в принципе, через 1,5 месяца. Через 2, наверное, с учетом того, что этот... Кстати, до конца нашего нынешнего патча сколько там? Неделя? 1,5? 1,5, наверное. Мне надо научиться запускать трансляцию нормально. В смысле, смотреть трансляцию нормально. Я вечно начало пропускаю. Обидно.
Welcome back to the version 3.2 special program, everyone. Next, we'll take a look at some of the new events for the coming update. An amazing fungus competition is about to begin in the lands of Sumeru.
Так,
Not
ивент
only has it attracted local competitors from
из-за него мы,
Sumeru,
кстати,
but also
получаем
spectators from
Дори,
other nations.
судя по всему.
Fungus competition? How does that even work? Aren't fungi dangerous? They're always attacking us in the wild.
I know it sounds a little weird, but you'll love it. In this contest, participants will use
он
a
читает
special gadget
книжечка.
called a wisdom orb to catch and train their fungi and participate in battle events. Although the fungi often pose as little troublemakers for us in the wild, using this gadget will allow travelers to establish a certain level of communication with them.
Okay, so if I catch and train a jade plume terror shroom, then I should be pretty much unstoppable, right?
Oh no, come on, that wouldn't be fair.
In this event, travelers will be able to sneak up on fungi in some certain areas to catch them. Unfortunately, the Jade Plume Terror Shroom is not one of those areas, Kimberly.
Грибочки будем собирать.
If you end up startling them, they'll flee until they are outside a set distance.
After catching different kinds of fungi, you can follow Paimon's suggestion and give them cute names. But most importantly, you will have to train your fungi.
That sounds fun.
Travelers will have to use special
что за
full
покемоны?
jelly ingredients to mix
Потом
and
еще и
form
тренировать
blends
их нужно
that your
будет.
fungi enjoy and unlock their true potential.
Имена
While
давайте
mixing
тренировать.
ingredients, you use copy, switch, and rotate functions, and place a preset formula you have in the corresponding spot.
Aw, looks kind of like jelly. I bet Paimon's gonna be all over that.
Hey! Paimon wouldn't ever do that!
Зак.
I can tell why you didn't book that role.
And with all these different kinds of fungi, they should have different abilities, right?
Yeah, so to work on their abilities, we'll use something called the Special Training Mode. In this mode, there will be two challenge types, Coordinated Assaults and Zone Defense. Travelers will be able to command their fungi's abilities, have them coordinate their attacks against a single target, and control them to defend the ley line monolith.
Так, ну
Aw, they're
этот,
so cute.
этот
This
ивент
is
не
gonna be so
похож
much
на
fun. I
ивент
can't
с
wait.
кучей
Yeah,
интересных
me neither.
сюжетом
As for the
и
rewards,
с
in addition
роликом.
to Primo Gems and
каким-нибудь.
various materials, once travelers have reached a certain phase of the
По-моему.
event, they will also be able to summon the great and almighty merchant, Dory.
Ну да.
Layla will be appearing in the event storyline.
А,
as
нет.
well as a familiar visitor from another nation.
Нет, 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 Стори здесь
Any
будет.
idea who it
И
could
как
be?
раз Лейла здесь появится.
Supposedly a fun guy. Hmm?
Okay, I see what you did there. I respect it.
Hmm.
Let's leave that for travelers to discover themselves in the event.
Come on, guys, fun guy.
Okay, next up we have a change of pace with an all-new Trials event. For this event, travelers will have to use characters' special abilities to complete specific objectives. For example, you may have to knock slimes into the goal by triggering
ты.
an overloaded
Что за
reaction
футбол?
with end phase and please attacks, or use
Футбол.
Galon's elemental skill to move quickly and dodge giant
Это они
pinballs.
к чемпионату
There are
мира
some others.
готовятся.
Use Xiao's plunging attack to send platforms back to the ground, or use Beto's elemental skill to hit the ball.
This sounds like some pretty unusual training.
Yeah, and to make things even more interesting, this event will support co-op gameplay.
Oh.
Начинается.
This sounds like it'll be a lot of fun to watch. But what about objectives for characters that maybe we haven't unlocked yet?
No worries, we got you covered. All the corresponding characters will be provided as trial characters in the challenges.
Perfect.
In addition to these events, version 3.2 will also feature an event for our players to put their skills to the test. This time, we'll have a new edition of the Hypostatic
кубик.
Symphony event.
Дендрокубик.
So, what changes can travelers expect this time around?
The most notable change, of course, will be the addition of the new Dendro Hypostasis. That's right, the last member of the Hypostasis family will be
Разработчики
officially
объели
landing
грибов и
in version
обкурились.
3.2. Besides serving as a new open-world boss, the Dendro Hypostasis will also be busy performing alongside its fellow Hypostases in the Hypostatic Symphony event.
This time around, travelers will be facing challenges
Ну,
featuring
почти,
Dendro,
почти.
Cryo, Pyro, and Hydro Hypostases. Before each challenge, travelers may select a buff effect to use. However, as you increase the difficulty, the number of uses will decrease and the enemies will become more challenging. So it'll be super important for travelers to
У нас,
plan the right
получается,
moment
всегда
to use these
ивенты
effects.
идут
So what what options do we have once
Сюжетные
we run
ивенты,
out of
получается,
bucks?
наверное, идут там,
Travelers
где
will still
дают
be able to
корону,
use
или
food
нет?
and potions from their inventory.
Я вот не
If you're
помню.
aiming to just collect all the Primo Gem rewards, then don't worry. You won't need to up the
Господи.
difficulty too much.
Okay, good to know. Whew.
I, for one, will definitely not be upping the difficulty.
Много кубиков.
And just like before, you
О,
may
я,
tackle the
кстати,
challenges together with your
Аяку
friends once they have joined your world.
Ико потестила в
We can
бездне.
help each other out.
Ничего так получилось.
Now that we've covered the
И
challenge
Дендра,
event, let's
путешественника,
take a quick look at a couple more
в Райден
casual events
Пати.
coming our way in the new
И
update.
поставила, благодаря
First,
чему, новый
we'll be
рекорд у
finding
Райден
inspiration for an
в плане
illustrator
дамага.
in
Это типа
the
хвастаюсь.
outside the canvas inside
Марио
the
на
lens
Олимпийских
event.
игр.
And
Ну,
once
скорее,
again,
вот второй
we'll be
ивент,
working
скорее
together with Leland
на
in
чемпионате мира
marvelous
по футболу,
merchandise.
что-то такое.
It's also
Ну
worth
да,
mentioning
как-то
here
так.
that some optimizations have been made for the photo event this time around. Everyone will be able to select from some preset angles and can make
Да,
use
это
of
на
the
что
rotate
было?
and focus functions to take better pictures.
That's great.
While you're out taking pictures, you may run into some interesting storylines along the way.
Так,
So
что
be
за
sure not to
история?
miss outside the canvas,
А,
inside the
опять
lens.
фоточка. А мы
Man,
такое
I
ведь уже
love these
делали
kinds of
вроде,
events.
нет?
Sign me up.
Yeah, me too. In addition to all these new events, we also have some news on system-related updates and optimizations.
Так,
I'm really excited about the first of these,
апгрейд
which is
чайничка.
regarding the Serenity Pot. Starting with version 3.2, the Serenity Pot will be adding the long-awaited replication system.
Wow, that's super amazing.
Yeah. This feature will allow travelers to use sharing codes to bring designs from other travelers' teapots and implement them in their own. Or
корона всегда в
share their
сюжетных
own
ивентах,
teapot
вот.
designs.
Вот,
I
ну
know there
хорошо.
may be some travelers out there who have seen
Это
some
получается главный
amazing
ивент, ведь,
teapot designs
ну,
that they've wanted to
этот,
also create themselves,
главный ивент
but didn't have the
дополнения.
ability or time
Ой,
to make it.
патча.
With this new function,
И он,
travelers will be
по-моему,
able to
чаще
bring
всего
that
первым
creativity
идет.
back to their own
И
teapot
длится дольше.
or share their
Хотя не факт.
creativity with others.
Get ready to hit
Последнее
up your
время
friends
они
with
длились
amazing
дольше.
teapot skills.
Oh, I can't wait to see everyone sharing their designs, especially with me.
Мне бы хотелось,
Which brings
конечно.
us to our
О, это,
final update to
кстати,
share with everyone.
новый
This one is
Дендра,
regarding the game's
сумеровский,
available languages.
в
Starting with
стилистике
version
сумеров
3.3,
чайничек.
which will be the update following this one, Genshin Impact will be adding Turkish and Italian to the game language settings.
О,
So,
новые
players who
языки,
prefer to see the
итальянский и
game's text and
турецкий.
UI in those
Не
languages
то,
can look
чтобы
forward
нам
to
это
that.
The
поможет.
game truly hopes that travelers from all over the world can enjoy the game and start their own journeys through the world of Tibet.
Итальяно.
For further details, please
Это, кстати,
check
в 3.3.
Genshin Impact's official channels and keep an eye out for future announcements and info.
Wow, we've covered a ton of stuff. Seriously, it's a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So now is probably a great time for our last redemption code.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Так, последний код. Ну, кстати, сегодня реально быстрая трансляция. Ну, в смысле, полчасика. Ну и слава богу. Ну, по крайней мере, для меня. Скажите только, когда релиз-то? Или они никогда не говорят, когда дату релиза в трансляции? Я что-то не помню ее в этой штуке. В самой трансляции, мне кажется. Я обычно ее уже не тут узнаю, а в новостях. Так. Ну ладно. У нас, получается, в первой половине баннера будет новый персонаж пятизвездочный Нахида, а во второй половине... Ой, патча. А второй баннер во второй половине патча, это, получается, там будет новый персонаж
Well,
четырехзвездочный.
everyone, I
Лайла.
think we've covered just about
Мультик
everything
пупсичек.
coming our way in version 3.2, which means we've arrived at the end of our special program.
This was
I
fun.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, we covered a ton of stuff.
so much stuff.
Yeah. So many events too. But the thing that I'm most excited about is, of course, Nahida playable character, Nahida playable character, Nahida playable character.
Obviously.
Nice.
Yeah, for me, it was definitely the Balladeer. Dude, it looks so insane. I have no idea how I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, no, for me, oh my gosh, so many things. Battling the Dendro Hypostasis, and of course the fabulous Fungus Frenzy. getting my little fungi and battling with them.
Fungi.
And, you know, the teapot, the Serena teapot, I'm so behind on my teapot, so I can't wait to
You gotta get on it.
hopefully get some designs from others, or at least, you know, get some inspiration from getting another teapot design.
And just as we mentioned earlier, even though the Sumeru Archon quest will be reaching its final chapter here, it most definitely won't be the end of our journey in Sumeru. In our story this time, we'll be encountering some interesting and mysterious content, and I hope it will be an amazing experience for all of our travelers. May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon be with all of you.
See you in game, everyone. Bye.
See?
Ага, как они быстро закончили. Вообще, они сейчас сказали, что 5 глава это предполагает концовку сюжета в Сумеру. Ну, не конец наших приключений в Сумеру, но типа концовку. Интересно. Так, сейчас я еще кое-что взгляну, потому что мне кажется, я что-то там пропустила. Сейчас проверим. Так, они должны были выложить сам трейлер. Нет, не выложили. Но сама презентация... Ну-ка. Я хочу посмотреть, что я вначале пропустила.
皆さんこんばんは。俺は旅人の空。そして、
バージョン 3.2 予告番組へようこそ。大マハマトラのセノだ。
Так, ладно. Давайте я начало покажу тогда на этом, на японском, потому что я английскую еще запись не вижу. Так. Не вижу, по-моему, да. Сейчас.
バージョン 3.2 予告番組へようこそ。大マハマトラのセノだ。
いよいよバージョン 3.2 終わらない家臣探査とスリリングな砂漠での旅を終えて、スメールの魔人任務はついに最終章を迎える。俺は頼もしい仲間たちと共に送信救出のためにチームを結成し、教令員に挑むことになる。
俺たちもこの最終決戦を心待ちにしていた。早速最新 PV を見てみよう。
То что, я просто хотела начало ролика пересмотреть. Его еще не выпустили.
想像しろ。今、俺たちの計画は全て完了した。暗草なりレビの救出にも成功し、スメールを変えられた。
ん？今何か通り過ぎたような。
博士がスメールから離れたことは、私たちにとってもあいつにとってもいいことかもな。
本当に不思議な感覚だわ。自分の体でカゴから出るとこんな気持ちになるのね。
Так, ну вот это мы уже видели. Так, ну в принципе на этом, наверное, все. Не знаю, как вы. Я с одной стороны жду, потому что Нахида. С другой стороны, Баладир мне настолько не интересен, насколько это возможно, поэтому как-то не особо. Его не очень жду. Вот. Ну а на этом все. Всем спасибо. Лайки, подписки, колокольчики. И до завтра. Сейчас напишу насчет боссов.
幸いまだ少し時間が残っている。